I'm Dan Souza from Cook Science at America's Test Kitchen, and today we're going to make a kale salad that's a little bit less bitter than normal with a vinaigrette that stays together for a really long time. So the key to a good vinaigrette is having it stay together, not break. You want it to be fully emulsified so that the water and the oil are mixed together. It's nice and smooth and creamy, and it dresses your greens perfectly. The problem with a lot of vinaigrettes is that they easily break apart right after mixing. So what we're going to do today is a make-ahead vinaigrette that once it's emulsified, it'll stay that way in the fridge for a full week. Let's get started. We use a couple of tricks. We use mayonnaise, which has a powerful emulsifier called lecithin in it. So that's very helpful to keep it together. We also use a little bit of Dijon mustard, and that helps hold it together as well. But the real secret to a long-lasting vinaigrette that stays emulsified a long time is a little bit of molasses. Molasses contains these colorful pigments called melanoidins that are really large molecules. And what they do is they slow down the movement of liquid. So we know that molasses is very viscous, and it adds that viscosity to the vinaigrette. So our water and fat phases are less likely to separate. So with our make-ahead vinaigrette, you can make it, throw it in your fridge, and a week later, it's still emulsified. So we all know that kale can be a little bit too bitter sometimes. So we're going to reverse the order of operations. We're going to massage it, cut it, and then rinse it. And we're going to rinse off a lot of those bitter compounds. So for the kale itself, we realized that kale leaves don't have a lot of flavor until they're damaged in some way. So in an undamaged kale leaf, you have an enzyme called myrosinase, and that is separated from a sulfur-containing organic compound called the glucosinolate. Now when a kale leaf is damaged by cutting or chewing or by massaging, they are allowed to interact, and they form a new compound called an isothiocyanate. And that is the bitter compound that can make kale a little bit tough to take. And usually the solution is to overdress a kale salad. Cover it with Caesar dressing, and you kind of lose the benefit of the flavor of the kale and also the health benefits. So what we figured out with Cook Science was that if we reverse the order of operations when we're prepping our kale, so instead of washing it and then massaging it and chopping it, we massage and chop and then we rinse it off, we can wash away some of those bitter compounds. So we have a more mild kale that's also more tender, so we can dress it with less dressing. Just a little bit of shaved parm on top, it's delicious.